Okay, have you ever just sat back and wondered what it would be like if your mind literally had a control panel? I mean, what if consciousness wasn't just this random thing that happens to you, but actually a highly structured, hackable system that you could master, upgrade, and even put on a complete pause? Well, welcome to This Explainer. Today we're looking at the human mind as the ultimate console. We're going to explore exactly how to unlock advanced, honestly, almost magical mental states using some of the most rigorous, intricate psychological maps ever created.
So let's dive right into this. We're pulling our source material today directly from the teachings of the Atula Dasanadhamma school, specifically diving into their senior Abhidhamma curriculum. You can really think of the Abhidhamma as not just ancient Buddhist philosophy, but quite literally the original ultimate gamer's guide to consciousness. It breaks down every single thought moment into this precise, systematic code. And today, we are totally skipping the beginner's tutorial and jumping straight into the endgame content. Here is the skill tree we're tackling today. 1. Level map overview. 2. Mastery and Palasamapati. 3. Unlocking supernormal powers. And 4. The ultimate pause state.
Section 1. Level Map Overview. Let's get our bearings before we start unlocking the high-level stuff.
According to our source, the fine material, immaterial, and supramundane consciousness, which are collectively known as the Apanachita Vithi, or absorption processes, can be grouped into 5 main categories. You've got the jhana and magga processes, which are your foundational absorption and path states. But for this explainer, we are focusing purely on the absolute highest tiers of gameplay, categories 3, 4, and 5. We're talking about the attainment of phala, direct knowledge, and the ultimate cessation. Moving right along to Section 2, Mastery and Phala Samapati. Because before you can unlock the really epic abilities, you definitely have to grind your stats. In the Abhidhamma system, simply reaching a high-level state of absorption, a jhana, just isn't enough. You have to achieve something called vasita. Vasita is basically your pro-gamer stat grinding. It is the absolute mastery required once a jhana is established, ensuring you have total, effortless control over your mental state before you even attempt to move forward to the more advanced levels. And this mastery is incredibly specific. There are 5 vasitas you've got to max out. First is avajana, the capability of averting to different jhanas quickly. Second is sampajana, the ability to actually attain them quickly. Third is adhisthana, determining exactly how long you will remain in that state. Fourth is vuthana, the ability to emerge exactly when you determined you would. And fifth is pachavakana, the ability to review the state you just left. Just imagine speed running into a state of total absolute peace, setting an exact internal respawn timer and waking up right on the millisecond. That is vasita. Now, when a master actually puts those stats to use, their thought process becomes this ultimate combo string. This sequence is the Phala Samapati Vithi, the actual code of a mind dwelling in enlightenment. Those initial letters, the B, BC, BU, and MN, represent the baseline life continuum mind and the purgatory thought moments gearing up for the big shift. That preparation leads directly into the 4 Ons, representing 4 wholesome Anuloma moments, which finally trigger the PH, or Phala consciousness. And here's the wild part. That phala state just repeats infinitely. It's an unbroken combo string of ultimate supramundane peace. Which brings us to Section 3, Unlocking Supernormal Powers. If you thought perfect peace was the only goal here, just wait until you see the Abhinavithi. So once a practitioner possesses all 8 foundational samapatis, that's 4 fine material and 4 immaterial states, they can aspire to attain abhinya, which translates to direct knowledge. This right here is the ultimate unlockable skill tree. It grants 5 distinct abilities. You've got Idivida, which are general supernormal powers, Dibasota, the divine ear, Parachita Vijanana, literally the knowledge of others' minds, or mind reading, Pubini Vasanusati, the recollection of past lives, and finally Dibachaku, the divine eye. But you don't just snap your fingers to use these powers. Activating them requires a super strict 4-step systematic procedure. First, the yogi selects an appropriate meditation object, a kasina, and reaches the 5th jhana. Second, they literally exit that state to determine the exact object or goal they wish to target. Third, they develop that 5th jhana all over again. And finally, from that highly purified state, they execute the act of direct knowledge. So you buffer the state, you lock onto your target, you rebuffer, and then you cast. And this is what the final thought process string looks like to execute that mental spell. Notice the really intense buildup here. We have those initial baseline and preparatory moments again moving into an intricate sequence of preparation, approximation, adaptation, and maturity. All of those moments are leading directly to the climax, the A-B. That A-B stands for the explosive, singular moment of Abhina.
the literal flash of direct knowledge, right before the mind drops back into its baseline state, represented by that final B. Reading minds and seeing past lives is definitely some high-level gameplay, for sure. But what if an elite player looks at the stream of consciousness itself, the constant arising and passing away of thoughts, and decides they want to completely stop it? Like, what happens if you want to hit pause on the entire game? Let's move to our final section. Section 4, the ultimate pause state. Enter the Nirodha Samapatti Vithi. According to our source material, this is the absolute highest samapatti that can be attained, and it's reserved exclusively for the anagami, the non-returner, or the arahant, one of perfect sainthood. Nirodha Samapatti is the complete arrest of the stream of consciousness until the practitioner emerges from it. Think of it as the ultimate AFK mode. The mind's software is completely suspended. Nothing arises, nothing passes away, it's just off. But shutting down the human system safely requires some massive preparation. Before initiating this state, the yogi must set up these very specific system resolutions. 3 really fascinating ones include, first, Sangha Patima Manana, which is resolving that if the great monastic community, the Mahasangha, calls for them, they will emerge. Second, Satupakasana, resolving to emerge if the Buddha calls for them. And third, Adana Paracheda, which is literally a vital life check. They must reflect and see whether they actually have enough lifespan remaining to survive the duration of the pause. You absolutely have to make sure your hardware won't fail while your software is totally suspended. So once those safety protocols are perfectly in place, here is exactly how the pause is initiated. The yogi climbs through all the material and immaterial jhanas until they reach the absolute peak, Nivasaya Nasanayatana, the state of neither perception nor non-perception. After exactly 2 thought moments of this highly refined state, the samapatti commences. Consciousness completely ceases to arise. And for a human being entering this ultimate pause state, how long does the system actually stay offline? Exactly 7 days. For 7 whole days, there is absolutely no mental activity, no stream of consciousness, just a profound, unimaginable stillness. This final sequence really shows the sheer scale of this achievement. You've got your baseline and preparatory moments leading up to those 2N, the 2 moments of neither perception nor non-perception, and then just a massive 7-day gap. The code simply stops running. When the 7 days are finally up, the system reboots, springing back online immediately with the pH, the fall of consciousness, before returning to baseline. It is a perfect, totally controlled shutdown and restart of the human mind. So as we've seen today, the Abhidhamma isn't just some abstract theory. It's presented as a highly structured operational manual for the mind. From grinding your mastery stots with Vasita to stringing together endless combos of enlightenment, to unlocking supernormal abilities and even executing a full 7-day pause of consciousness itself. It really begs a fascinating question. If you could master your own mind's source code, which level would you unlock first? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep exploring the absolutely incredible potential of the mind.